Welcome to my 1989 Dodge 350 Class B. It's a Class B. It was called an Explorer with an X model in the RV industry. You're looking at the bed area with the pantry to the, let me back up a little bit more. The bed area with the pantry to the left on screen near the kitchen. Those two cupboard doors open, and on the right is the wet bath, and the room divider comes over and shuts that section off if you want, if somebody's sleeping in, if there's two of you in here. Underneath the bed is an area with two 5-gallon water containers and two small gray water containers. They're portable. We were boondockers. We rarely stayed. Sometimes we would stay with electricity just so we could plug in, dump our stuff, dump our trash, things like that. But usually we were boondocking, so we kind of have set it up that way. When we bought it, and after we moved from Southern California to Colorado, I had busted the tanks because I didn't realize what winterizing was, but we never fixed them because we boondocked. So you can put new tanks in, one for the toilet, gray water and black water, or you can boondock like we do. We have it set up for boondocking, but there is that option, and that's nice if that's what you're looking for. It has 3 windows. Pull down shades really need to be replaced. This one won't stay up anymore. And besides, this is 1989, these shades. I've replaced a lot of things in here, but haven't gotten to the shades yet. Here's another window. This back window is an exit window. And what I did a lot of times when we camped in the heat was I would open the window and you can see the back tires back there. That's also where there's one of the 2 openings to the trunk, which runs underneath the bed below this floor. So you have a pretty good sized trunk that runs about where the end of these pillows go to the sides, these 2 sides. The bedding is all new. The sheets haven't been washed because you never know if somebody's going to be allergic to your laundry detergent, so you would want to do that probably. Well, maybe. I'm not going to tell you to wash your sheets. Anyway, but it is brand new. There's also a new mattress cover, but the mattress is not new. It fits, so I've always used it. I'm going to pause just a second to lift up that bed. I have many times when it's too cold to go outside or it's raining outside, made this into a work area. The mattresses, another reason I kept them, is they're 2 twin size or approximate twin size, and I can flip them. Even I don't have to take them out of the protective cover, and I just flip them and then put the bedspread and pillows up in the back. I can still have as much light, or I can shade myself if the sun's beating down in a direction. It's actually beating down this way, you can, I think. No, it's not. And then I just can sit here and work. This is a hard surface. Or sometimes I would eat here too. I put my soup down and continue with my drawings or whatever I was doing. But it is a nice, cute little work area for being comfortable. And you can kind of lean back. You can even move these and take a nap and then get back to your studies or whatever you're doing. Over here, I never covered this because eventually somebody will, the plumbing will be done. The plumbing did work all the way through, so I don't think anybody needs to make new connections. It's just, as I said, the tanks are not there and do not hook up. So if you did want to not boondock and you wanted, full RV life hooked up with tanks, you can do that. So here you can see the 3 overhead cupboards. These lights don't work, but you would want to replace it anyway because they're the old type lights, and really they're quite ugly. But these lights did work when we moved in. These lights did work when we bought the trailer. I don't know, somewhere they got unhooked, but we didn't really use them. We had things similar to, well, if we were hooked up, we used lights. I'm leaving this. It's got a USB port charge on it, so otherwise just put it in the garage sale if you don't want it. For now, I'm leaving that, and I'm also leaving one of the battery operated lights. Let's see. With the bed pulled back like that, I've got the top of the under storage propped up. And then you can see here's the 2 gray water tanks that I have. They fit inside each other, but they do have lids. So if you need to carry them away from your campsite to dump them, you don't get all wet in the process. I made them, I got 2 smaller ones so they wouldn't be too heavy. These are 2 5-gallon water containers. They do have spouts, so you unscrew them, open the air hole, and you can prop them up on your picnic table. There is, all of this underneath was painted. All the walls were painted, but before the painting, everything was steam cleaned. As far as the floor, I steam cleaned all the walls, floors, and surfaces, and then the wood was painted. I just did a nice white color, but it kind of spruced it up in here. I haven't, as I said, replaced the curtains, and I don't plan to. I have some coordinating material that I'm leaving for the new owner, so that if you want to make a accent piece, these materials were bought for this color scheme. So let's see. What do you call this? This is a converter, I guess. That should work. I assume that works because the lights work. We haven't been camping with hookups in this for quite some time. And it plugs in, there's the electrical for that. This is the intake to the water tank. If you had a water tank in here, I left it so that you would know where it goes. Somewhere I also have pictures of it actually hooked up when I first got it, before I cracked it. But I would have thrown the water tank out anyway because it was 1989 plastic, and things have changed a lot, and safe drinking water is very important. So you would have thrown it out also, I hope. So that takes care of the bedroom area. Now I'll pause. Here's the outside of the bathroom door. The part on closest to the bed opens. There's also overhead storage above the pantry. Here's our pantry. I've used this for a closet. I did have a bar on it at one time. I've used it for large pans, just about anything. It comes in so handy. And it's nice to have one large space that you can actually access in here. You could keep so much stuff in here. Above, this did work also, but I no longer know anything about it, sorry. You're going to need an electrician to help you figure this stuff out, because I really don't. No. It does have a place for light. That light is burnt out. That did work. I don't know if it still works. I really don't know. One nice thing about the bathroom is it's got a vented window here, and it slants down, so you can even leave it open in the rain. You do want to close it when you're driving, or at least mostly close it. I have left it just a little bit sometimes. The sink worked when no, the sink never worked, and I bought a new faucet. So this has never had water run through it. It's like brand new. It's in there, but of course there's no water tank. So, but at least you know, that's like another $40 or something. A little storage area where you can keep toilet paper and bathroom supplies. There's a nice little shelf here in the wet bath. A wet bath is a toilet shower combination, so you could see everything is made out of waterproof, like a fiberglass board or something. There's only one. I used to just put a rope here and string the toilet paper through, but this toilet is the toilet is a Thetford recycling toilet. Again, you need to replace the tank. We boondocked. We didn't use this. I used this room for storage, but the electricity is still active through, or the power is still hooked up to the toilet, so it would be a matter of installing a new tank, having it installed probably, and filling it with water. I guess that would be. This might not be in focus. I have to get a little close in here to shoot this, but I took the medicine cabinet out, steam cleaned it with the Pulte steamer. Then I painted it and decorated it. This has never had anything in it, so you won't find dried up toothpaste or somebody else's germs in here. The entire bathroom was steam cleaned. It does have a mirror on the surface. It has a storage unit under the sink. The faucet has been replaced, but never hooked up. So there's no, but of course you'll need to get water tanks and have it hooked up or hook it up. The outside the pantry and bathroom area and the little bed, you can, if these windows are open back here, and say you're camped at a lake and you need to change your wet bathing suit, you don't have to go through closing that up. Just, okay, if you open that, now you can see that totally shuts you off from the back. There is a divider curtain here, which is, I made this out of Sears opaque living room drape, so it's, you can see. I didn't want the light coming in, and this is also what I use for the curtains up front. So it divides it really nice. If you're sleeping, you can, if there's two of you, one person can really sleep in. And you can change quickly. Look how easy that is. I loved this. I used this a lot especially in water areas, river areas, where you're going down the inner tubes and things like that all day. And okay, the bed's made again. So you can see there's a bit of options back here. This wire rack I left here, there were two, and I'm leaving the other one with it. But oh, here's a TV hookup. We've never had a TV hooked up in here, so don't ask me. But at least it's installed, so there's a place to do it. I'll show you the speakers in a little bit. There are speakers here, and you can have them you know, it's like surround sound or front or back. It is a nice speaker setup that came with it. He did have a tape changer underneath that I got rid of a long time ago, but somebody put some time into it. So that's the bed area. Oh, I liked this pattern so much. I've been looking really for 2 years for the spread I wanted to put in here, and I finally found it, and I liked it so well that I bought the same spread for our 2 cots that we're building a cargo trailer into an RV. And therefore, each set came with one of these mini little pillows, which I really love with the set. But I liked it so much, and I looked at this space and I thought, you know, they're better in here because, and so I took my 2 brand new pillows and put them with the new pillow that came with this set, and I'm leaving all 3 pillows here. I just think it's adorable. I love it. Guys may not, I don't know. Down here, oh, I guess I need to take that out, whatever that is. I'll check and see what that feels like. A hose of some sort. So there's some storage under there. We usually keep shoes in there. Whoops. There's a heater here. It did work when we first got it, and we're using it. Then I'm not sure. Oh, without you need the water for it. So it probably will work flushed out and everything once you get water connection, if you decide to do that. Again, we boondocked, so we had a small electric heater that we plugged in when we had hookups. When we didn't have hookups, we used a Mr. Buddy in here, or something similar to that. Propane type, safe for tents though, and always vented. So the water would then run, but again, we never used the sink. We used, I always wash dishes outside if I could. So let me pause this a second. The sink does not have water tanks to be functional, so you would need to hook up water tanks to it and a pump. It does need a pump, so it needs tanks and pumps if you want to RV it with hookups. There's a little storage area above it. The lamp has a couple USB ports in it, so if you are hooked up, you can use that. I kept pot holders. No, I kept pot holders up here. I could slide them out. Long-handled spoons. But it's got a storage area there too. Now, what I did with washing dishes is I prefer to wash dishes outside, and I would use this, and I'm leaving this because it's just great for that. And I have another thing that fits in my current sink, so I'm leaving this for the new owner. But one of the great things about this is, say it's Sunday and you're trying to pack up your camp and get out of there, and you ate breakfast. You don't have time to do dishes. Well, throw some water in it, throw some soap in it, put your silverware in the bottom, your cups and whatever down there, close it up, be sure you secure it. I used to use a piece of elastic around it, and then put it in a spot that it's not going to matter. You could put it on the floor in the wet bathroom if you want, or there's lots of places you could put it. It actually fits here also. This area here, oh, here's our book. So we still have the original book. Isn't that cool? These can come out, but so I haven't secured this because the new owner might not want this particular thing. I liked it for fruits and vegetables. I got this off QVC if anybody's interested. I think this might be an origami piece. I'm not sure. But I didn't finish decorating it, or because I didn't know if the new owner wanted it. So you can get this out if you want to turn it into something else. Seat needs to be replaced. It did swivel. The smoking man or woman, whoever decided to do some damage, kind of, you wouldn't have wanted that left in the car. It had quite a bit of burn marks on it. So I ripped it. I was going to reupholster this, but I'm leaving that up. I've knocked quite a bit of money off of this. I'm not going to reupholster. Oh, one more storage area. Overhead. This goes from front to back. There's also a couple little places you can put alarm clocks and keys and different things in. You can lock this, but as you can see, I could open, if you lock that, I could still break into it, which is why we were thinking about the refrigerator area. This is reflective. I custom made this. You'll see on the pictures that it's on the front windshield. If you're ever in sandy areas where the sand might damage the windshield or you might get a sandstorm, I use it all the time when we hear there's going to be a thunderstorm, because we get hail here quite a bit. This is the pole for the table. This is the second pole for the table. I showed you the one that mount, and this is a tripod mount that you can just open up and put outside if you want. So I'm including that. That was a custom order I'd gotten one time when I had my chalet. This is let me pause it, but I have a custom screen door. I store this screen door above in that area, but as you can, if you look at the photos that I've included, it shows the screen door in place, but it has a magnetic closure. It's a magic mesh on one side that I sewed custom length to on the back side of shade cloth. This is what you would use in Burning Man to keep the heat off of you. I highly recommend shade cloth. This particular one is called Illuminette. I don't remember, I think it was a 70% block. You can get assorted blockages, but people can't see in either on the screen door, and you can still see out. That's nice, and it keeps mosquitoes and things at bay a little bit. The front also has a second vented window that slants down. This makes noise, as you'll see from my what follows this video is the test drive, and there was a little rattle in the beginning because I still had this open. I had this not seated, and so it was rattling a bit. There is a place here for a fire extinguisher. However, I kept bear spray in it so that it was always handy when I opened the door. You want more, if there's more than one person, you should have more than one bear spray can. Everybody in bear country should have it with them. You don't go looking for where you packed it when the bear comes to your table. You have it with you beforehand. This is the fire extinguisher I'm including with it. It's quite a bit higher capacity than the one that would fit in that little container. So I have not yet made a place to store it, so that's something you'll want. It'll be inside the pantry. There's another hookup here, electrical hookup. And these were heater controls. As I said, the heater did work. I don't know what the other one is. I guess the hot water, it says hydroflame, so I guess one was probably for the hot water heater and one was for the heater. So you'll probably want to go to some place that can work on that if you don't know yourself. Here's my view from sitting back on the bed. So you can see there's a lot of light that comes through. The fantastic vent I didn't even mention. Let's go there. This has almost no time on the motor. We've been restoring a couple different vehicles. That one of them was a chalet, and I bought two fantastic vents and put them on the roof, which made it way too heavy to open and close the roof. That ended up that project ended up being trashed due to circumstances. I had no place to store it and had to move. So got rid of that and kept the fantastic vents. One is in here, and I'm putting the other one in my cargo trailer. But it has very little time really on the motor, so I'd say they're like, maybe motor wise you could figure a year old, for usage, but that's about all. So it should last quite a while. It's bi-directional. You can pull the air in or pull it out. It is 2-speed, low and high, and that vent opens and closes. We had rain for almost one solid month every day. Sometimes it would rain only for half an hour lightly. Other times it would downpour. Not once did I get any leaks in here. So you don't have to worry about the seal, which is very nice. I want to mention one other thing. I like this. This is an old, think of it as an old truck. It's an old Dodge, 1989. It still has wing windows, which when you're driving on a hot day, putting the air conditioner on you and then opening the wings to blow in as you drive by is really nice. I like that. So I thought I would mention it right in there also.